Where are you at? I
I
continue to have him at the
freaking
top of
love
my
this.
board. I love
I
him.
love this dude, man. I love him. The measurements where he's going to be like 6'7" in shoes again, like he is legit wing size. I feel like the is he a point guard, is he not a point guard conversation is just distracting from the fact that this dude is just a badass basketball player. And like, I did an entire thread on Twitter. And I've been so damn busy, like editing film sessions, working on the draft guide, writing a piece, doing all this other stuff. And I was like, you know what? I can't face this slander of people going, Stephon Castle is like, doesn't have the passing chops to play point guard. Like, first of all, point guards don't exist anymore.
No, they don't.
Who's the point guard on the Boston Celtics and the Dallas Mavericks right now? Can you just pick and identify one guy?
No, because they have different guys bring up the ball all the time. I think it's a position that's not dying, but I think you're also just finding teams are now looking for guys like, just give me the best 5 guys on the court who can handle the rock, who can at least start. Like we're getting the ball up to, I'm just saying the Celtics. Tatum brings it up. Jaylen Brown brings it up. They give it to Derek White. They give it to Drew Holiday. They're running the offense through the bigs. Like it's about the pieces now. It's about the talent and the versatility and passing, playmaking. Obviously, yes, you want to have a talented ball handler, but I feel like that comes into the picture more when you're trying to be like, hey, we need a bucket here. Like, get us something. Here's Kyrie Irving, go to work. But I'm right there with you.
But Castle can handle the ball.
Yes.
And he could pass.
People are too obsessed with his ability, like his quickness, and he just gets his body into you and overpowers you.
He's patient.
I've told you before, like he reminds me the way he plays of Sean Livingston. And I know you guys were kind of like, and I was like, I'm not saying the build. I'm saying he will just work you down into the post. He'll get to his spots.
I get Andre Miller, Sean. Yeah, I get like that. Yeah, sure. Like go watch how like Castle and Klingon would run like the snug pick and rolls, and like even in those tight spaces, like he's coming off, he's going back for the rescreen. I mean, this dude is like spinning off of him. He's doing point guard things. He's just not dominating usage. And honestly, that's like what you want. Yeah, like Zay in the chat says he reminds me of Jimmy Butler a little. That was the impression. You guys know I was covering the Big East tournament live at Madison Square Garden, and I told you, I was like, this dude looks like Jimmy Butler out there.
Guess what? That. Yeah, you're like, hey, this is Jimmy Butler.
Jimmy Butler started to play a little bit of point guard or ball handler initiator in Chicago. Now he does it a lot in Miami. So like it doesn't matter what position he is. What matters is the fact that he can contribute, and he's set himself with a floor because he's probably the best perimeter defender in the draft. If he's not the best, he's up there. And he has kind of the feel and the ability to make things happen off the ball, whether it's as a cutter who's then making like a dump off or short roll read. And all he's got to do is figure out, okay, can I get back a little bit to having the freedom? Because I don't even want to say the confidence. I want to say the freedom to shoot some of those shots that he shot in high school. Now, I don't think he's ever going to be, this insane off the bounce 3-point shot maker. That's not going to be his game. He's going to be a guy who's patient and gets to his spots and does all these things. But like he's going to take threes. I don't think he's afraid to shoot. He started shooting it better. He became, he's a pretty decent free throw shooter, and he really started coming on towards the end of the year as a free throw shooter. Like he was not missing. The dude's a hooper, man. Like, so if somebody said they had him at 1, I would not bat an eye. He's not necessarily my number 1 guy, but I think that in the modern NBA, for a dude without a shot, he has everything else that you need. And so the fact that he came out at 2 on our board, I absolutely loved that from the team. And he's somebody we've been high on all year. We never really wavered. I even, at one point, I was at a game scouting live, and I was talking to the front office person in the league, and they were like, last time I checked, you guys had Castle at 6, huh? And this is when he was kind of struggling. And I was like, yeah, we like him. I know he's not playing well, whatever, but like we like him. And he came on. He was a contributor as a freshman to a national championship. I think he's going to be good. That's all I wanted to say.
Yeah, I think we need to praise what he does instead of focusing on what he's not. He brings too much to the table. The defensive strides he took from high school are ridiculous. Like now he's looking like a potential all lockdown defender. I think the guard stuff everyone's obsessing with right now. But this is a guy, like you put it perfectly. At the end of the day, dude's a hooper. Like the dude, we would not be surprised if Castle figures out a way to play 10 years in the NBA because he's got great defensive ability. He's got versatility.
10 plus years.
10 plus years.
If he only played 10 years, I'd be surprised.
I just think there's way too much upside. And I understand people concerned about the shot. I think we need to applaud him for what he did coming into this Yukon team and saying, I don't want to be the guy. I want to figure out how to win. Like he said that with Dan Hurley when they were recruiting him. He's like, I want to be a winner. What do I got to do? Came in, they said, play good defense, make the right passes, and playing in that system, we see it all the time. Yukon just hammers home like, hey, pass up a good shot for a better shot. They had a lot of talent. He had to accept a role to play along this side, this team. And I just love him. Like I recently talked to a scout and he's like, I'd take Castle at 1. And he's like, because I feel the best about his ability to make an impact at the NBA level, given his skills compared to the other guys. He's like, I just feel the best. And he's like, he had his questions too. He's like, the athleticism, the vertical pop, yeah, it's a little concerning, but he's like, I just like the way he plays. He's talented and tough, and he's got that positional size and versatility. So I just think it's interesting to see so many people kind of cooling on him, but I wonder if that's the buzz about the reports.
I actually think the athleticism stuff is weird too.
Yeah. It's more power than,
dude,
I don't know.
When I was at the game, one of the games that I watched at the tournament, he on one end came over, help side, volleyball spiked a block, ran the floor, and went up for an alley-oop dunk that he missed, not because he couldn't go get it, because it was a bad pass, but he got up in a way that you were like, okay, like this dude's got bounce. It was like defense to offense. And this is somebody who had a knee injury that people were worried about. That's not even talked about really anymore. He has a knee injury that he came back from and worked his way through. So it's not even, I doubt that his knee was fully healthy during the season. So I just think that he really has all of the tools that you want. And now it's about finding the right organization like a San Antonio Spurs, which would be so scary if him and Victor were on the floor together doing their thing. Man, I think that would be a special pairing. And that's not even talking about who you might get with that second pick that San Antonio has. So, I mean, if this guy falls, I mean, I think Kristen Peak reported that he's not falling past 6 to Charlotte, and that makes all the sense in the world. But if he falls past that, I mean, Portland's got to jump all over that. But we can talk about Castle all day.
Yeah.